Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
This is the incredible Kristen Becker filling in this week as guest co-host. I'm Harrison Fish.
I like hanging out with you.
Yeah, me too. We're hanging out a lot lately.
A lot.
Yeah.
Tell them why.
Me and Kristen started a brand new podcast. We just released episode 6 this past Wednesday.
Correct. Yes.
And it's been really fun.
I'm having a great time.
You are good.
Yeah. I think that, I get messages from friends of mine who are listening, and they're like, how are you two so the same and so very different?
Totally.
And I think it's really allowing for some fun discussions.
Yeah.
I
I like when we disagree.
and it happens every episode.
Definitely.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Because you're wrong a lot.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, so we're 6 episodes out. We kind of focus on a little like prescient breaking news topic, and then kind of talk about something that's a little more
Evergreen.
general. Yeah.
Kind of an all the time thing.
Yeah.
Deeper dives.
We've talked about the DNC. We've talked about addiction.
We
What else
have
we talked about?
the big beautiful bill.
The Big Beautiful Bill, women's sports.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah, so check it out. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also watch it right here on YouTube. If you go over if you search the Queer Times, everything's purple and with me and Kristen's face. Click subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're also, I don't know if you remember, but we're hosting trivia together on Monday.
Yeah, no, I remembered.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good,
100% we are.
Great.
On this Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
good to know.
that is
Great.
good to know.
Great.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do I need to come with questions?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
But trivia started up this past Monday again at the brewery. We took a little break when the brewery was closed this past winter. But
It looks so good in there.
yeah, the
I love
brewery
it so much.
reopened at the Crown and Anchor this past Friday? Thursday for Memorial Day weekend.
Homophobic.
Yeah.
The light went out.
The light went
Homophobic.
But it's really amazing in there. I really enjoy the space. It really feels like the same vibe of the old brewery. But one thing I do love, especially for trivia, is the fact that it's a little more compact.
Right. Stage is central. You're
Yeah.
kind of, you like
Yeah.
it when you feel like a king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're also, the stage is 3 steps tall there, which I do really like. But then we were sitting on stools, so I felt like I was like towering over it.
Yeah.
But brewery's fun. We had over 20 teams. Our trivia was fun. We had over 20 teams, and everyone had a really great time. And what's also cool
Who are
is
the
like,
winners?
Cutest at the bar.
Great. They always slay.
Yeah, or they don't. So
Oh,
one of
really?
the
It's real
other.
hit or miss?
It's truly one or the other. They're either like third from last or they win. But it was tons of fun. And what's really cool is at the old brewery, we kind of maxed out at 20 teams. Like if we had 20 teams, there was nowhere for anyone else to sit. But we had 20 teams and there was still a ton of space. So I'm really excited to see how much it can grow going into the summer.
No, I'm excited for like July because it's gonna where the stage is positioned is gonna extend out into the courtyard in a really nice way. So you're gonna be so famous this summer, Harrison.
Wow.
And I'm gonna ride your coattails.
Perfect. They're short.
Yeah. I'll hang on.
But yes, come by this Monday for trivia at the brewery with me and Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come by the Sass House tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
if
what have you got
have a
going
green
on?
thumb? I'm a maniac. We decided that our capital campaign this year was going to be called Sustainability. And it's my idea of how do we take this beautiful, historic, legacy property in town and steward it to sort of a carbon neutral future.
Oh, that's
How do we
awesome.
make it climate conscious? So step one, if you have been at Stop and Shop at all this month, you've seen that the charity bags, the give back bags benefit Summer of Sass this month.
Oh, awesome.
So if you're going there, you have until tomorrow to get all the bags you can, and we'll get $1 from each of those.
Buy tons of bags.
Buy tons of reusable bags, stock up for the summer, get them all right now. And then the second component that we're working on is a community garden. So we're having what's called a permablitz tomorrow. We've partnered with the Artemis Guild, and do you know Jazz? She used to work at Joe Coffee.
Yeah.
Dreads, yeah. So she is a permaculturist, Korean natural farmer, master gardener, and she's volunteering her time and efforts to come to the Sass House. We're putting in a vegetable garden. We're taking out some of the decorative landscape and replacing it with fruiting trees and berry bushes, and just a way that we can be more sustainable on property. And so a Perma Blitz is a community planting event. And so the idea is a bunch of volunteers show up all at once, and we give them all little projects. And together in one day, we transform a garden into a more sustainable landscape.
Oh, awesome.
So that's tomorrow from 10 to 5. So you can come by. As much experience or as little experience, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to do some really fun permaculture techniques. Jess is going to teach us things.
Oh, cool.
And then at the end of the day, we'll have a raised garden bed full of vegetables. We'll have a fruit, and we're calling it a fedge, a fruit hedge. It's a fedge. I know it sounds dirty, but it's just fruit trees in a line. A fedge, and a fruit forest, like some fruiting areas and pollinators, and just learning about what plants are complementary to each other, highlighting native plants. And that's step 2. And then we just received a $30,000 matching funds grant for a solar install from the Turn Foundation.
Oh, amazing.
So now if we can just raise another 30 this year, we'll have solar on the house, and that'll cut our utilities by a bunch.
It costs $60,000 to put solar on your roof?
For the amount of solar that house requires,
Gotcha.
it's like a little bit over 55 and some change, and then obviously that's going to change. So we just 60 is our goal.
And also like the amount of money you would save over time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and it's it's not a lease. We're not doing any of that. We're buying everything outright. We keep it all, and it should lower our utilities to almost nothing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you do heat through solar?
So that's actually an extension of the capital campaign. So the whole capital campaign includes a new boiler or a new hybrid boiler. I would love to, if I raise 250, we will do geothermal heating, right? We'll do like ground source. But it's windows in some of the rooms. It's programmable thermostats. It's a new boiler or a hybrid system, they call it. And in that way you can. And we looked at on-demand electric water heaters, but they suck a lot of energy. So I don't think we're going to go that route. But yes, you can, with enough solar, you can really run a lot of your household. And that's what we're going to try to do.
I love that.
So you'll be hearing the word sustainable so much this summer, you will hate me at the end, and that's okay.
Yes, we love a pun.
That's okay.
The Sassers arrived this past weekend. How's it going?
Amazing, amazing. We actually just did a photo shoot with them with Joe Navas last night from Organic.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we had this idea this year to give them kind of school portraits, like class pictures. So when they land, it's Sass Picture Day. And then
really
if
cute.
we can wrangle everybody at the end of summer, they'll get one when they leave. And we'll be able to kind of see if there's been any, it's a short period of time. It's only a couple months, but you'd be surprised how sometimes people come here and grow so much into their own selves that they look entirely different by the time they leave, or at least they carry themselves in a different way.
That's really
so
awesome.
It's been that. Yoli Mayor is our resident advisor this year. Marissa Miller is our house manager. So, I always forget every year what the catching Sassers feels like, because we've literally, it is the real world. We've just put 8 strangers into a mansion to find out what happens, right? And they're sharing rooms together, and some of them have lived with other people, some of them haven't. They're all different, varying degrees of life experience and gender identities and orientations. And so it's been an interesting and very busy week.
I love that.
But we're excited.
I mean, between you, Marissa, and Yoli, that's like a lot of mom energy.
No, there's
a little dad energy.
It is. We have discovered that 2 femme mom vibes offsets my 1 angry beach dad. And that is the right balance.
I love that. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What season is this for Sass?
8.
Wow.
No, it's
exactly.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It's definitely something where I am I'm starting to absorb what the long-term impact will be, because at this point, when you're doing like 8 a summer, Now it's going to be, in 10 years, there's going to be over 100 people who have been through Summer of Sass, and
Crazy.
it's pretty cool.
And also, like, I follow some of them on Instagram because we became friendly while they were in town.
Yeah.
And just seeing how they are growing and evolving,
Yeah.
and how that was like a little bit of a jumping off point for them.
For sure.
It's really powerful.
Community builds a sense of self.
Mm.
And that's what, people always say, would you do this program? You should do this in Key West. And I said, no, it's not quite right. What I need to do is do it more here.
Have they been to Key West?
People have the idea of like, oh, a queer community. Some people think it should be everywhere. And I say, no, I don't think that people understand that Provincetown does the work.
Yeah.
The idea is that you get to, in most towns you go, there's a neighborhood.
Mhm.
So as long as you're in this 4-block radius, you're safe to hold hands, you're safe to kiss mostly. I don't think people understand the transformative effect of you being a majority everywhere in a community, and that you can hold hands at the grocery store or at the library and the general safetiness of Provincetown. So I can allow them to have a lot of autonomy. They're 18 to 20. They're all grown-ups. If they leave the house at 1 a.m., that's their business. And fortunately, we live in a place where I don't have to stress about that too much.
Right.
Like we have a safety plan. You got to let your roommates know. You don't have to let the grown-ups know. You let somebody else know if you're going to hook up. Make sure somebody can find you, right? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Please.
Don't tell me. But make sure you're being safe and that you have a buddy system in action.
Amazing.
And the community here allows us to operate that way. And it's that sort of autonomy and freedom that I think is really important, specifically for 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah. Also, Key West is not a queer community by any means.
It's just, it's in San Francisco. Those are the places that come to people's minds.
Yeah.
But
San Francisco is Key West has really gone off the deep end if you haven't been lately.
I've never been.
It's like Republican land.
But gay Republican?
No, there's no gay people there.
Oh, then why do people?
It used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is it? Do you know? Is it like a money thing or?
The cruise ships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, when they started bringing cruise ships in and built this gigantic cruise ship dock receiver, all of a sudden it was literally thousands upon thousands of cruise ship people being dumped into town. All the stores turned into sandal and t-shirt shops, and all the restaurants turned into Margaritavilles. And
Gotcha.
And the gays were like, I'm out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Republicans were like, we love it here.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe we should plan a queer cruise to Key West. Get off, stare at them all.
Yeah.
Like they do here.
I love that.
Get off.
Come see the colorful
and
people.
We'll get little lanyards,
Eee.
right? But we'll put like butts on them or something cute. And we'll walk around town and be like, so do your parents know? And just flip it on them.
Yeah, totally.
Just show up and be straight tourists. Like, what do they live like? How do they live? Oh my God.
Sandals. Their culture is sandals.
And then visors.
It's crazy. Sandals and visors. Yeah. How was Memorial Day weekend for you?
Fantastic. We did a Foxy. I love Foxy. Sam was part of Foxy. If you don't know,
heard she
Foxy
killed it.
Foxy is a variety hour that we started putting together maybe 3 years ago, and it is all of the most talented femmes and thems in town, and everyone brings an incredible number, and it's a really, really great time. And we also did Dyke Dock Dunk.
I got dunked.
Harrison Fish got dunked.
Sam got dunked.
Sam
was
got
the
dunked.
first one. She
Sam
was
was the first
brave.
And
Yeah.
it was not warm.
Nope.
I just want to put that out there. It was incredibly cold, and he was like, let's fill it up early so the sun heats it up. There was no sun.
Yeah.
The water was a mental health cold plunge for anybody involved. But we did raise it over
I
$500.
think cold plunge is shocking people by dunking them into water.
That's literally the definition of a cold plunge. What are you talking about? That's what a cold plunge
I think
is.
when it's a mental health cold plunge, you're in charge of the plunge, not a random person throwing things at you until you plunge.
This is a mental health and fortitude building.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so a little bit is you never know. Rookies plunge themselves. Professionals
Get
plunge at the whim of the crowd.
Yeah,
And that's what happened. But I will say that we raised over $500
that's amazing.
on an overcast, rainy day. So I'm excited to do it again this summer. I think we're thinking about doing it again for Girl Splash when it's nice
I
and
love
hot.
that.
I'm gonna bring a super soaker for when they miss.
Bring a super soaker.
Spray them back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Senator Sear got in the
Yeah.
thing, and I do say with confidence, I'm pretty sure that there were 3 Republicans that tried to dunk him. Because I most certainly was on the street with a bullhorn saying, do you want to dunk a Democratic politician? And this one guy with like an American flag, heck, you sure do. He missed. But we got his money.
Yeah, Sam got dunked.
They're never as sporty as they think they are.
Never, truly.
No.
Sam got dunked. Lucas got dunked. I got dunked. Marissa, Mackenzie, Julian. I must be missing a few.
Yeah, Carmen, Heather, Hunter Love Drag King. Jake Glass hopped in for a minute just for the cold plunge. Wasn't on the schedule.
He's
it was
like,
actually, I'll get in.
I need to regulate my nervous system.
Correct.
Let
It
me
does
jump in
wonders
there.
for your brain. It does wonders for your brain.
Yeah.
So that was Memorial Day weekend.
My favorite thing is
went-
when the queer women would get up and throw badly. I'd be like, you throw like a gay guy.
Exactly. That is the best. There was one woman who was so into it that everyone thought we knew her and we didn't. But it was exactly the energy I needed because every time she got it, she was like, you joined. And we're like, you just came from T-Dance. We can tell.
I expected some like underhand fast pitch.
There was one.
There was.
There was
I
one.
missed
There
that
was one pitcher that clearly played in college and she nailed it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
thought
who it
about
was.
it for a second. My sister was a softball pitcher, and I was trying to.
Your sister was a softball pitcher.
Yeah.
And you just this week sent me a video of your sister, same sister,
Yeah, my sister's
draining
badass.
a 3
Yeah.
in basketball.
Yeah, I'm.
So your sister's a lesbian.
in like with a husband.
Oh yeah, I would have dated your sister in college. Is what would have happened, and then she
No,
would have married.
Yeah,
me.
my sister is such a badass. She her and a group of women got together about a month and a half ago and started an over 30 women's basketball rec group.
I love that. Sorry,
They got jerseys made, and this past Sunday they had they played all their husbands. And my sister sent me a video of her doing a really great setting the screen, moving around the screen, 3-pointer.
Yeah. Are you jealous of her athleticism?
No, I feel like at this point, now that she's in her 30s, we're about on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah. When she was younger, she was much better than me. But yeah. Speaking of women's basketball.
I knew it. Here we go. Harrison is making me a better fan of the WNBA. I have a league pass.
Yeah, me too. I just got one. Did it start?
Cordosa was on fire last night.
Yes, she truly was.
Yeah.
24 points.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite teams played against each other last night, the Chicago Sky and the Dallas Wings. I love Chicago because of Angel Reese and amongst their other players. And I love Dallas because of Paige Beckers and the other players.
Yes.
But it was a bummer. I do think I'm more of a Dallas fan, and they did lose, but I was excited to see Chicago get their first.
Was that their first win?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do love Dallas because Paige Beckers is amazing. She's a recent UConn star. She's in her rookie season doing really incredibly. Then there is Enrique Ngumbawale, who is a queer woman. Dejanay Carrington and Melissa Smith are both in the starting 5, and they are a couple. It's
The drama is real.
It's awesome. I love
If
it.
you feel like you might be a sporty gay,
Yeah.
but you don't like the toxic masculinity and general homophobia that comes with the NBA or the NFL,
Mhm.
come to the WNBA.
Yeah.
It is a fun time. You get to cheer on people in a way that, I don't know, the culture around, and I said this before about the same thing when we do the Sassy Super Bowl party.
Mhm.
There's the stigma that the LGBTQ community, I mean, obviously not the lesbians, but other parts of them might not be so sport inclined and like, oh, I don't sport. And what we learn is that you don't sport because it hurt you your whole life growing up because the culture around it is terrible.
Yeah.
But once you have a room full of queer folks,
Mhm.
watching it is really fun. And so
Yeah.
I think this summer we're going to watch some WNBA games at the
Yeah.
brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to start. Harrison and I are going to hang out and drink NAs. And
Nothing is confirmed, but I do think the first one we're going to do is June 27th.
love it.
It is Dallas versus Indiana, so it's Paige Beckers versus Caitlin Clark.
Let's go. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I have a mascot pageant.
Ooh,
We love that story.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the biggest news, I think out of the WNBA, and I'm most excited about, Paige Becker's my favorite player. There's been rumors that her and AZ Fudd, who is another UConn star, have been dating, and people are saying they confirmed it.
Because of the messy room video?
That was like a mega mix of all the things where I was like, well, yeah. But no, they so AZ was in Dallas to see Paige's game, and then they posted a TikTok that
How old are these women?
21, 22.
We need to leave them alone.
Oh yeah, but
I really
it's
like. Could
them
you
doing it.
imagine? Okay, all right. As long as it's them doing it.
Yeah.
But is it them doing it, or is it them just like making videos and then all of us being like, there?
I think that's what it was before this one video.
Okay. Because there's a little
Um,
part of me that's like, could you imagine that, like, just because you're good at sport,
mhm.
that I was very much in the closet with extended family
Mhm.
until 23 or 24, right? In my head, they didn't know. And so there are moments when I see this where I'm like, all right, these are like
Right.
barely fully formed adults
Mhm.
who are figuring themselves out, and the whole world is like, y'all you need to tell us movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and that to me is a little bit like, okay, let's give them a second.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
also,
totally.
they do give gay.
Yeah. Well, AZ has a diamond necklace with a heart with the number 5 on it, which is Paige's number.
Yeah, but like female friendships in teenage years. No, I'm dead serious. Like we come from a place where like there would be a best friend's necklace that was the shape of a heart, and one of your friends would have
Oh
the
yeah,
other
totally,
half.
totally.
And so like I also just want to put that. I'm sure something happened, but I just want to say let's
AZ was
let's
also
give everyone their own right to come out at their own time.
she was also sitting at Paige Becker's table at the draft.
Best friends.
Never before have they had former teammates or best friends at the draft table. It's always like family, coaches, and partners.
Fair.
And this video that everyone's saying confirmed it is like them making a joke about them going on a date, and AZ's caption is always princess treatment when I'm with her.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
I digress. Okay,
Get
great.
Sabrina Carpenter in there, and it would spell all rumors.
Right. But yeah, put the 27.
I like Sabrina for knowing she's not. I don't know.
We'll
I don't think
see.
she is.
mean,
We'll see.
Isn't everybody these days? Everyone's a little gay.
yeah,
Speaking of Pride Month, I went to Boston yesterday to get my new nails for Pride Month.
I was checking. I was like, it's
Do we
not
have the
yet.
Zoom feature yet?
Sure, let's try. All right, resuming. Oh yeah.
Can you see them?
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you can see them.
Yeah.
I can see them.
Work.
Yeah, great.
Look at us.
Good
So
job.
tech savvy here
Wow.
at Wake Up in Provincetown.
What else you got in your list?
just-
What'd you do?
I went to the underwear party this past Sunday.
We had different weeks.
Yeah, I did
we had
stay
different
upstairs
weeks.
mostly just because I was feeling it, but not feeling it. So I
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
upstairs. But Joao was in town, so I had to leave
Oh,
the house.
fun.
Yeah. I also, do you know who else is back in town? Is Sean Treadwell. I had lunch with him at the Governor Bradford this past week. So, and we talked a lot about the art that he's going to have in his gallery this summer. So get excited for that. And I'm sure his gallery will be open up soon.
Fun.
Yeah.
I have a thing in my neck. That's why I'm doing this. I don't know if you could tell. I
Oh.
realized it. I'm like, I didn't realize it until I looked at you, and I was like, oh, I can't actually.
I think that's kind of all I did. Did you do anything else this week?
I think I did a lot. I already.
No,
told
you did a lot. I feel like I barely talked.
No, I did. We just started Topless too. So Topless tours
Oh.
are up and kicking, and people are excited, and we're excited. We added a new Jeep.
Yeah.
We've
Which is very
upgraded
fancy.
to a 2021, which feels very fancy. And so, yeah, no, people have been, for as much as everybody has said, oh, this summer, foreigners aren't coming, like people aren't traveling and Canadians aren't coming. And what I do think is happening, as much as I hate to admit it, is I think that LGBTQ folks who might be in the gender diverse area are not trying to leave the country either, because that also includes your passport and going through customs and federal agents. And
Totally.
so I was pleasantly surprised at how busy Memorial Day weekend was for town and what that is an indicator of going forward. I'm also pleasantly surprised that we actually have a volunteer group so for the Perma Blitz we're doing at SAS, we put out a call for volunteers, and Alexandria Real Estate is a real estate company out of Boston, and one of my friends works there. And their company is, if you do a day of volunteer work, we'll pay you for those 8 hours. Cool. So they put together a group of a few people who are going to come down and volunteer for the Perma Blitz. But the point of that is, when I spoke to them, they were like, oh, we actually found a reasonably priced hotel. And I think that is a key component to us being busy. I guess I guess it's the Cape Colony. They were like, it wasn't that bad. And so that to me felt really nice, because maybe some of the lodging is recognizing that we had reached a peak last year.
Yeah.
and that given the economy, things have to come down. And so I'm hoping,
Mm.
I don't know, I was very excited for how busy Memorial Day weekend was.
Yeah.
And then that other bit of information like, oh, someone's going to be able to come and stay here to actually help the community. And it's a reasonable price, and they were able to find a hotel because they were going to just ferry in and ferry out.
Which is
a lot if you're going to
expensive as a
come.
hotel.
Yeah, and if you're well, it didn't used to be, but now you know what I
Right.
mean. But now, so I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what happens.
Yeah. I maybe it's just the people I've talked to, but I've talked to maybe like 4 or 5 people who do have rentals, and weirdly, almost all of them are like, "Oh, we're not renting for 4th of July," and I don't know if that is just the random 4 people that I chatted with, but I wonder if that is a pricing thing.
I feel like 4th of July is this intersection of pricing and obnoxious amount of people in town.
Mm.
Where like it's one thing to hit a peak price point because it's a busy weekend. It's another thing if you hit that peak price point and then you wait in line for 45 minutes to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I think you reach a moment where you're just like, it's not enjoyable
Yeah.
anymore when it's that busy unless you're here to be seen in a Speedo and do drugs. And then those people,
I do that 365 days a year.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the drive has to be, you have to kind of be here for that
Mm.
price point to make sense.
That's true.
And it kind of eliminates everybody who's just kind of trying to go to the beach on their week off,
Yeah.
you know?
And it is interesting. A lot of people I talk to that aren't super familiar with Provincetown think these theme weeks are like, if you don't come 4th of July, Bear Week, or Carnival, there's going to be like no gay guys
Right.
because they don't realize that there's just like always, that's
Yeah.
just like always the standard.
Yeah, no, those are just some concentrated weeks of a very specific type.
Yeah. But you
Okay.
can come.
Those are curated collections for you to
Right.
come and peruse.
Yeah. But you could come the first week of May, the last week in October, family week. Honestly, any week. And if you're a woman, there will be other women around you if that's what you want. If you're a man and you want other, like, there's always a very fun mixed crowd no matter what week you come. Yeah. Like even like Memorial Day weekend, like it is Mem Day.
Yeah.
We can't call it what we used to call it.
Baby dyke?
Yeah.
What? I have privilege.
You
Don't take
definitely
privilege.
can.
I call it baby dyke.
But it like as much as like yes, that is the crowd. It's not like the underwear party was still jam packed with gay dudes and
Right. Yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
underwear,
Yeah.
you know?
There's enough room for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to see the reverse.
I would love that.
What's that?
too.
July, that the underwear party is packed with women even on 4th of July.
That the
Yeah.
underwear party is packed with women on 4th of July.
There was a
But the underwear party's not packed with women on Women's Weekend.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
No, I do, but I think that first we have to,
correct.
like, I think that first, if there is an influx of women, where is the women's underwear party, right?
Yes.
Or does it? Yeah.
There was a Reddit comment that I sent to you on the Provincetown space where this woman was like, "We're coming for Memorial Day weekend. Where can I dance topless?" And I'm like, "Where can she dance topless?"
I do think that there could be some sort of I mean, there are nudity places have nudity things,
Mhm,
right? So
mhm.
I think we just have to find that venue and make that a thing. Because I think the reality, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that like sex happens at underwear parties, but I do assume that perhaps there is some brushing by
Mhm.
of things. And I do feel like that's why it tends to
I
be
wouldn't know.
a little bit more, I think that's why it tends to be a little bit more gendered
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. And I can understand why women would be apprehensive
Mhm.
to enter a space where they might get flyby semen. Like,
That doesn't
I
happen.
mean, what?
There's,
In this,
I think it's easy to avoid. Because never mind.
I think the space required for avoidance is greater for me than it is for you.
Yeah. but
Like,
I
where you
also think-
avoiding is if it
I-
doesn't hit you in the
I
face.
have a feeling there are people there that are seeking it and still don't end up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
But I do feel
Good
like,
morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
but I do feel like there I think this last year at the underwear parties, I think there was more women than there had been in the past, and I think that is kind of a shout out to the Gifford House for adding more inclusive restrooms around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I
And
do
more
know
inclusive. You know, you want to have a few bartenders you want to have
Yeah.
a little bit of everybody.
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's Maddie, Bianca.
Exactly,
There's
yeah.
a really nice mixed group over there. Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
I didn't know that's where we were going, but here we are.
Yeah. I think. Oh wait, we have the Ruthie's video with Paul and Sam. Yeah.
Fashion.
Hey y'all, I'm getting ready for the Ruthie's fashion show, and Paul here is gonna walk me through some fits.
Kind of needs some help sometimes. I think you worked for.
So check us out June 9th at the Ruthie's fashion show.
Were you trying on clothes in that, Sam?
I was.
I love that. That's for the Ruthie's fashion show coming up?
Correct.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Another one quick thing I did want to talk about, there was a lot of news over the past couple of weeks about a case of hepatitis A at a local restaurant.
Oh.
And
Do you have the skinny?
no,
Oh.
I don't think there's much of a skinny. I mean, I think everyone knows the ways in which hepatitis A can be spread. And
No,
which
what are the ways?
it is a fecal transmission,
Okay.
which is why it's really important to keep it under when it happens with someone who works in a food service space. It is important to let everyone know who is there so that they can take their due diligence, talk to their healthcare providers, and make sure that they either weren't exposed or can get the proper treatment.
So Hep A is the origin of employees must wash their hands.
It might be.
Okay, I do think
there's
that
a lot
is where
of
that
employees
started.
much once. But every time I see that song, I think they should change it to everyone should wash, like employees must wash their hands, everyone should.
Yes.
You know. But I did want to, if you're located here in Provincetown, you can head on over to Test and Treat. They do have Hep A vaccines, and they have if you have insurance, obviously you can get it, and if you don't have insurance, they also have no cost Hep A vaccines over at Test and Treat.
Can you post, like, if someone was exposed, would getting a vaccine after matter or not?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But just if
You're not Dr. Fish?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
My parents would be much more proud of me if that were the case. Yeah, let's head over to Sam with the roundup and find out what we've got going on this week.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Weekly Roundup with me, Sam Sewell, for the week of May 30th through June 5th. It's June. June's busting out all over, and we are starting today with the 18th International Encaustic Conference going on now from May 30th through June 1st. And if you want more information, you should check out the Truro Center for Arts at Castle Hill at castlehill.org. Also, still playing at the Water's Edge Cinema, Mission Impossible and Friendship. You can get your tickets now at ptownfilm.org. Also, today starts the Provincetown Gallery Stroll. It is back on, so I hope the rain stays away and you can enjoy your gallery stroll in peace. Also tonight, Scream Along is honoring two righteous townies, Pauline and Ronnie. So go and check them out at the Grotto Bar at 10 p.m. and pour a few out for them. I am so sorry to have heard of their loss. You are missed. Then on Saturday, Bygone and Beloved is going to be at the Gifford House from 6 to 8 p.m. You can get $20 tickets pre-sale or $25 at the door. And then Sunday, hold up. It is Pride Month. Happy Pride, everyone. And throughout the course of this month, just so you know, everyone is on the queer spectrum. I don't make the rules. Happy Pride. Starting off this Pride Month on June 1st at the Provincetown Theater, you can catch Timeshare at 2 p.m., all written and performed by local townies. These are a series of stories you're going to want to check out. And then Sunday Fun Day is happening at the Truro Vineyards every Sunday from May 25th through August 30th. Then on Monday, Cabaret Fest is back in town and is going to take place all over town. So you can get your tickets at Cabaret Fest P-Town. Also, Cody Plays is back at the Gifford House at 7 p.m. I cannot wait to see what he has cooked up this season to show all of us. And then on Tuesday, Painting on the Hill is happening every Tuesday at the Pilgrim Monument. They will provide everything you need to participate, including paints, canvas, and brushes. So go join them from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. over at the Pilgrim Monument. And then on Thursday, you can support the AIDS support group with a night at the Chef's Table happening on June 5th. Also happening June 5th is the Wimix of Color weekend going on through June 8th. And you can check out all the information for what's going on at wimixofcolorweekend.com. Upcoming Provincetown Pride is happening June 6th through June 8th. All the information on that with the upcoming events can be found at ptown.org. And also, I will be participating narrating June 6th at the Commons, so come and check that out at 6:30. And World Ocean Day is coming up on June 8th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Payment. Also on June 9th is the Ruthie's Boutique Fashion Show at 5:30 p.m. at the Crown and Anchor, and the Provincetown Film Festival is coming up, honoring Ari Aster with the Filmmaker on the Edge Award and featuring films like The Baltimoreans, Are We Good?, John Waters Presents Pig Narcissus, and something called Fuck Toys. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that the second annual prom is happening as a fundraiser for the Film Society. Get your tickets now at ptownfilm.org and get ready to cut loose because it is a footloose prom. Whew. All right. Enjoy your gay June. Happy Pride, everyone. And I will see you all out there.
Sam, there's so much going on this past week. You can get to Provincetown if you're not here. Please welcome this amazing crew. They are from the Provincetown IB schools. We have Wes, Stella, Michael, and also Phil. They're doing a really amazing project, and it's actually up all around us right here at the Commons. Phil, you're guiding them through making their own comic book.
Yeah, so I write and draw comic books for a living, and I was asked by Leslie, the director of the Commons, to come work with Michael's students to create a comic book. There were 16 students, and we developed a 16-page comic, and each student got to draw a page, and they're all on display behind us.
Amazing.
So cool. Who decided? I heard it's horror themed. Was that one of yours decisions, or did y'all all decide together?
As a class, we took a vote on what genre we'd want and like how it would be and stuff.
Nice. Why do you think horror stuck out for y'all?
Because it kind of just like scary, like the class kind of like scary, so I think everybody just wanted to go with that.
I love that. That's really cool. Can we get a little bit of an idea about the plot?
I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah, don't.
But pretty much, there's like a hitchhiker and some kids, and their car breaks down in the beginning and stuff. So
As horror tales go.
Classic horror.
So the hitchhiker lures the 4 hapless teens into the forest,
Ooh.
and mayhem ensues.
Now, is it a thing where everybody writes the story together and then everyone then draws a page, or is it a thing where there's some people who are story, some people who are illustrator? Like, how does the process work?
What was incredible was that all the students, we began figuring out what the story was going to be. We broke it down page by page. As they said, we had to determine early on what sort of genre, kind of tone and theme. What was just going back to genre for a minute, we went to, should it be an adventure, kind of like that, romance, nobody wanted that, drama, not really
Comedy.
interested. And then I don't remember who, but somebody said, what about horror? And the class cheered.
Nice.
So once we had that, then we sat down and we whiteboarded and went page by page, determining the plot. And one of the things we did was figure out how we wanted it to end so we could work backward into that ending.
Amazing. I would love to see the same story redone as a comedy now.
I just think a few dialogue tweaks. And that's
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. That is funny. You got to add a few punchlines here and there.
Michael, did you approach it with the class as more of an art project or more of like an English storytelling project?
It was more of an art project, really. That was sort of when we teach theater, visual art, and band at school, and this was sort of the ticket where I was like, I guess if you join art this year, you'll probably be working on a comic book with our guest artist Phil Jimenez. So it was more of an art-based thing, but the storytelling was a great way to enter into it, and you were so good teaching about genre and theme and the differences and all that type of stuff. So it was pretty exciting.
Do you feel like you would make another one now that you know how? Is it something that you're like, oh, I can't wait? Do you have other ideas?
I really liked how all of our ideas combined into one.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Do you think either of you two or any of your classmates are starting to think that they want a career in comics now?
I don't know for sure, but I kind of want to.
Yeah,
because I've been into drawing for a while, and I've kind of been like, oh, I want to make a comic or something like that. And I've just never been able to push myself to do it until like now, I'd say.
Yeah, and Phil is such a great teacher.
Yeah.
You're learning from the best.
Yeah. It's a little me.
What did you say?
It's a little mean.
But you said you were mean?
A little stern.
Oh.
That's how you get results.
We have a deadline to
It's
hit.
important. Deadlines are important. You have to know about these things. So these are life skills. Deadlines matter.
So are y'all doing an opening for the show to here at the Commons?
We are. The opening is tonight. It's Friday. It's from 5 to 7. And you can see the art is framed behind us. And then there's going to be other bits and pieces of ephemera around us, the layouts that we worked on, the character designs that everyone decided on, and even some photographs from the work that we were doing in the class.
Does the book exist? Does the book exist? And can I buy it?
It
does?
Yes. I think we had about 100 of them printed up, so it should be available tonight.
Amazing.
And I believe there's a $10 donation. But the fun part is that aside from the sort of narrative, the visual narrative, the students also came up with the script. So the printed version has the word balloons in it. So you
Amazing. Amazing.
and it's actually really hilarious. It's
Cool.
great.
Cool. That's
really
fantastic.
neat.
Yeah. Bella's got the last page. And
You did the last page? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. So tonight from 5 to 7, stop on by. Imagine you and your classmates and your families will all be coming by. That's awesome. Congratulations. This is a really
Great
cool
job,
project.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming in too.
Of course.
They were excited to miss their first bit of school. I love that Wake Up in Provincetown is officially an excused absence at the local Provincetown school.
As it should be.
Yeah. Let's head on over to Sean with the weather.
In Provincetown, it's a foggy but not too chilly start to the day, and let me tell you, I am so ready for summer. I'm dying to take my shirt off. Today marks 21 days until summer solstice, and while next week is looking delightful, we've got another wet, windy, and chilly weekend on deck. Here's your 6-day weather outlook as we wrap up May and step into June. Today brings a mix of sun and clouds with breezy conditions and a few midday showers, highs near 68. Saturday turns stormy again with gusty winds up to 40 miles an hour, cloudy skies, and periods of rain with a possible thunderstorm. It'll feel brisk with temps topping out at 63. Sunday improves slightly with increasing sunshine, but it stays breezy and cool. The high again near 63. Monday offers a blend of clouds and sun, breezy in the afternoon with highs around 67. By Tuesday, we finally hit our stride, sunny skies and a high of 71. Wednesday keeps the good vibes going with sunshine, a few clouds, and highs again around 71. So while the weekend may be a wash, brighter and warmer days are on the way as we roll into June and gear up for next weekend's Pride celebrations. Low tides hit around mid-morning, perfect for getting your pup out on the flats. That means high tides will roll in around the witching hour, but fear not, the water will not reach the stairs. Woof. It's a classic shoulder season weekend at the boat slip. Dog tag tea today, Saturday tea tomorrow, and solid gold on Sunday. The Buoy Bar opens at noon today, and Andrew will be selling drinks all weekend. So stop by pre-tea, post-dinner, or for a little pre-game before heading downstairs to the special club. Looking ahead, Pride kicks off at the boat slip next weekend with a full lineup of events, including Sashayed Tea on Saturday, Tony Awards viewing party at the Buoy Bar on Sunday, and a special tribute to Judy Garland's birthday on Tuesday the 10th. I'll have all the details in next week's broadcast, or you can just simply go to theboatslip.com, check out the events page. And don't forget to stop by Test and Treat to get prepped and pepped for summer. Call 774-538-3350 to make an appointment. I'm actually due for a visit. So friends, if you're watching, go ahead and pencil me in. That's it for me. I'm manifesting sunshine for this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a mess, so stay dry. For those of you in town, I will see you at tea. Guys, back to you at the Commons.
Thank you so much, Sean, for the weather. Please welcome this crew. They're representing 3 different organizations that are all coming together for the First Look fashion show at the Mary Heat and Divorce House. Joe is from Plush, providing the fashion.
Yes, along with other local designers. Anchor to Anchor, Dune, Respoke, Mate. I don't want to forget anyone.
Don't you dare.
I know.
They'll be in the comments.
Yes, and everyone. I mean, it's just amazing how there's such a large amount of fashion being created here in Provincetown, designed by locals, and some of it's actually handmade here in Provincetown.
That's great.
So
that's awesome.
Yes.
How did the 3 of y'all come together, or the organizations, to work on this project? Martha?
Well,
Martha's from Skip.
I'm from Skip. I'm Martha. Hi. This is the third year of the event, and we've been very fortunate to receive the proceeds from it. This is our third year. And so they chose Skip to receive it again this year, and we couldn't be more thrilled. We're so grateful.
I mean, Skip has really, it grows every year and it provides such an amazing service over the winter. How was this past winter?
So our numbers keep increasing. And we had a lot more dining in people this year, which was a big change. We've had a lot more younger people coming in, which is a change. Our numbers just keep growing because of events like this and because of sponsors and donors. So we're, again, very thankful.
I heard you had a new chef this past winter.
We do. His name is Raul. He's been in town forever. He's worked in a number of restaurants, and he's very well received. Everybody loves him. Meals are like, it's a lot of fresh food. It's not like the old days when you got like a little cup of soup and a little sandwich. It's like really delicious, and we've gotten great feedback for having him. So we couldn't be more happy. Yeah. Do you want me to keep? I could go on and on.
Yeah.
But I mean, true. So if you don't know Skip, we serve meals half the year, and Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 1:30 on Shane Painter at the Methodist Church. And the great thing, like you mentioned in the winters, I mean, it's nice to come get a hot meal for those that need it, but also a lot of people come in for the community sense of it. When it's
There's
so
a lot of people
cold
who come
and
in and say
dark.
that's their socialization.
It is truly. I mean, we
Yeah.
get business people, artists, contractors, and then we also offer services like referrals, like to send people your way who they need housing assistance or mental health help assistance.
And also a lot of awareness around dietary restrictions. I've noticed too, is that there's always an option for a vegetarian. There's always an option for a vegan, like
gluten-free.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's incredible.
It's a very well thought out and considerate menu for sure.
Yeah. And again, thanks to like First Look, it's helped us increase our outreach efforts. And I want to just talk about two really quickly. Yes, our numbers keep growing, but like in last year, in a 3-month period, compared the same time this year, we gave out 2,200 more meals.
Wow.
Which is incredible. And then also we had talked about, and then we were able to launch this Skip delivery program, which we started last spring.
What a great resource in a time when federally funded Meals on Wheels is being pulled, right? To have a local organization, not that we don't want you to have to feed 2,000 more people, ideally, but thank goodness you can.
There's a need too. And so this delivery is for those that are unfortunate and can't either, they don't have the mobility or they just can't get to Skip. And so we tested it out in the summer and it was so successful. We had like 50 clients. And then again, because of all of this, thank you for helping us. We did it all year. And so for 2 days a week, we were able to deliver meals to people in need. So that's huge.
That's
so
huge.
Thank you. Thank you
For
First
somebody
Look.
who's on a fixed income or like that's a huge help.
And also we have a lot of people that need the help because of their unemployment in the winter.
Right.
Yeah. It's a resort community or whatever, so they need some help. But it is a great place to come just to bump into people and be social as well.
And it's also nice because like everyone comes, everyone is welcome. If you can make a donation while you're there. Obviously it's not expected, it's fully free, and and also you get to see Martha smiling behind the
look at you. Harrison.
And Jenna, you're from the Homeless Prevention Council.
Yeah.
Last time we had someone on was Hadley Ludley, which she's a little busy now.
Pretty busy.
Yeah.
She's
She's
pretty
still working
busy.
for you though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's wearing both hats very, very well. I don't know how she does it, but she's amazing.
A lot of people hear the name and they don't quite understand what y'all do. Because
Yeah.
It's so much more expansive.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about the people you end up helping.
Yeah. So helping people community is kind of like a new acronym that we're adopting because Homeless Prevention Council, it can be misleading or, it can be stigmatizing for somebody to go and seek services at home, you know, because people assume it's just for homeless, which it's not. It's for the people in our community that need help. So our mission is to enable our people to remain financially secure and stably housed. We see people from the 8 lower and outer Cape towns, and on average, 2,300 people a year are who come through our door. And much like Martha, this past year, we had significant growth in the need for our services. So 24% more people.
Wow.
Yeah, which amounts to 531 people, I think, which is a staggering number, you know? And so for us, you know, again, we don't want to have to serve those many people, but it also means that people are coming to us for services because of what we provide. And basically, our kind of hallmark is the individualized case management. So when somebody walks through our doors, they're connected with a case manager, and then that case manager works with them throughout the entire process and stays with them, connects them with resources, and we're always there for them. So, and we also have some really great programs that help support, you know, our mission. We have the REACH program, which is a goal-setting mindfulness program where a client works with mentor for 3 months. I think it's a 3-month period. And then at the, you know, setting a goal and then working towards that goal. And at the end, there's a $2,000 stipend for that client to put towards their goal. And some really amazing things have come from that. So we have that. We have Adopt a Family, which is where we support the kids, you know, at Christmas time. And Backpack, which is also a backpack to school, where we provide personalized backpacks for kids. And it's great. These programs are really great because it's twofold. It supports our existing clients, and it's also a way to get more people in our doors because they hear about these programs and they come and see us. So
I feel like people have this expectation or this idea when they hear homeless prevention, but in a community like the Outer Cape and Provincetown, especially with the way housing works, a lot of times it's housing insecure people.
Absolutely.
Who are members of the community. They have jobs, they're working.
Absolutely.
And they just no longer have housing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it is our workforce. And, you know, our services are so important to helping our communities stay stable. Because if we don't have these people, we lose our economy, we lose the stability in our community. So, and it is. And our mission is to have people be stably housed and financially secure. So they come to us with housing insecurity and we try and, you know, stabilize. So, and it's prevention. It's like before they get to that point where, you know, there are no options.
And I want to point out that you have an office where Skip is on Shankpaper.
Which is,
so when you come in to get your meal, it literally is right there on the left, right past the Skip office. And they're there a couple of days a week.
Yeah, so Ann Wood, she's our Provincetown Community Support Liaison. She's in that office. And then she also does outreach at the library and the firehouse in the summer. And she is there to help the people of Provincetown, anyone that needs it. So yeah.
Joe, tell us when and where First Look is.
June 6th at the Barry Heaton Forest House at 5 to 7:30. Tickets are still available. We have 57 items for auction. The silent auction is up and running. If you just Google First Look Provincetown, you'll find the auction.
Joe is a master at online auctions and should get more credit for this. I'll put that out there.
I've never created an auction before. And when we first started the event, Dan, who owns Plush, said, I need some help. And I was like, well, what do you need? He said, I need a silent auction. So I just started asking our community, who are all amazing. I want to highlight 2 items on the auction. First off, all of our donors are amazing. All the art and experiences. You can have in a private home, a sit-down cabaret catered by Angel Food with our one and only Hillary Tamar.
Amazing.
And her piano player, John. So she is going to perform privately for you in a home. Also, the living legend, Sal Del Deo, you can sit at his favorite table at Sal's with Sal for dinner.
Oh, wow.
And that's
Priceless. Priceless.
Wow,
That's
that is
priceless. But
priceless.
think of the stories and the history that if you love Provincetown and Italian food and
I would
you
love
know
that.
the
Right?
insides.
I want that.
So I'm really proud. I'm just really proud to have created these events and to say just thank you to everyone supporting it and making bidding on it and making the donations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison, could I just also say that we're so grateful to be included
Oh, yes.
in First Look this
Well,
year.
I mean,
Really.
I think that
Oh,
our
so is
political
Skip. I
climate
mean,
and our
incredible.
economic climate is, these organizations are vital.
They are.
And so it really drives the work that we do.
It also is amazing to see as federal programs are being cut and a lot of places people's lives are getting a lot worse because of what's happening in politics right now, that the Provincetown community already has so many things in place to protect us from that and is stepping up even more to make sure that our community stays safe and inclusive.
Can I add one more thing?
Of course.
Also, because of everybody helping and being so generous, we've added a take-home meal on Fridays, because you're talking about how much more, this take-home, and it's amazing to have that.
I love that.
It helps it. I mean, and takeout as well. And our numbers are like, we're doing 200 meals in an hour.
It's amazing.
That's a lot of
It's
food. It's a lot of
Yeah.
food. And a volunteer. I mean, I have to do a shout out to our volunteers, because we have over 100 volunteers to make this happen.
Who are volunteering a skill that is very vital in this community and is employed.
I mean, there's a lot of
So you get
positions
paid
to
a lot
fill
to do that.
every day. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you y'all so much for coming in. I hope this event is a success. Buy tickets to the event, go online for the silent auction, bid on those incredible items, and support all of these amazing initiatives here in Provincetown.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you. Thank you.
Let's head over to Lucinda with traffic. We're pausing for a second.
Pausing until it's time to go to traffic.
Yes, Sam's getting it together, but in the meantime, where Skip is in the winter is now an amazing thrift store, which also supports everything happening over at the Methodist Church.
Which is on
That's right.
Shank Painter.
On Shank Painter.
20
Next to
Shank
where the
Painter.
old police station used to be.
Yeah.
Which is, then there's new condos. I'm just gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's good at riffing. She's good at
Trying to get
riffing.
an image up and I lost my file.
That's okay.
Should we do our flash mob dance?
Yes.
Sure, let's do it.
There's a flash mob.
We worked hard at that.
Yeah. Martha and I.
Everywhere you go, you just have a dance.
You also, Martha, do you want to talk about your art show that's happening here?
Actually,
I do.
No way.
I brought my card with me.
What's the date?
When's the date?
Darn it. June 11th to 23rd.
We'll be here. Yeah. Let's head over to Lucinda with traffic.
Everyone, it's me, Lucinda Liphole, out in the streets of Provincetown getting the fresh stories for you as Wake Up's traffic reporter. And with recent ICE raids on Nantucket, Provincetown has hired me to be an ambassador to ICE agents if they come to town. Yeah, they knew who to hire to spot people lying to themselves that their jobs create a better world. I am the prime example of how such lies can be used to do the opposite of deporting human beings. You can show them around town, teach them history, and make money off them. For instance, if ICE agents were to take my comedy walking tour of town, they might learn that the word Nantucket is based on an indigenous word that means faraway land. So it's ironic on many different levels that they're trying to remove people who don't belong there.
Thank you so much, Lucinda, for that insightful traffic report. Please welcome Abraham Storr from the Provincetown Independent.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in this morning. You're going to talk about the launch of the new summer guide.
Yeah, sure. So every year we do a summer guide. It came out in last week's issue during Memorial Day weekend. And it's just a great resource to guide you through the summer across different towns, the different towns on the Outer Cape. So the beginning of it, there's 4 different towns, different people talking about their favorite day on the Outer Cape, their ideal day. including Murray Bartlett, who, from White Lotus, who talks about Truro. And I think Joe Navas, who you talked about earlier today.
Yep.
He does Eastham.
Oh, that's so cool. Who does Provincetown?
Provincetown. Oh, I think actually Mark Garrett.
Oh, no.
Celebrity author Mark Garrett.
How did I not know that, Mark? Mark never tells us the fun
No,
things
he keeps little
does.
secrets.
And
I think he
Wellfleet,
does so many fun things that he can't keep track of.
and then Wellfleet is Jessica Taylor Olson.
Oh my God,
So,
amazing.
but I worked more on the arts part of it, so it also functions as a helpful arts guide. One of my colleagues, Antonia Silva, made this beautiful map.
Oh, I love it.
So if you're kind of
Oh, all the
walking around,
galleries.
it's got all the galleries. If you're walking around wondering where things are, you can just pop this open. It's good to have with you.
There's the Commons where we are
Yep,
now.
the Commons is here. There's some pop outs. And then I wrote a piece about just 10 shows that I'm looking forward to this summer. So we have the Provincetown galleries listed here. We have a section on the wealthy galleries, and then a piece that I wrote about 10 shows that I'm looking forward to seeing this summer.
Amazing. Is there any one or two you want to highlight now?
Well, there's a few things that are coming up that are like Andre Vanderwen. He's going to be at Wellfleet Preservation Hall, an abstract painter, also an art writer. And that's going to be up for the month of June. And then also coming up, I think opening next weekend at AM Zender Gallery, Amanda Case Millis, beautiful landscape painter. A lot of landscapes of Maine. She has some of the Cape as well. Yeah, they're beautiful. Also, Carmen Cicero, I think, will be really cool. He's going to be 99 years old when his show is up at Cape Museum of Art. But he lives in Truro in New York City. He's just amazing. He lives in like a 4-story walk up in New York, and he's 99 and still painting.
That's why he's 99.
Yeah.
He lives in a 4-story walk up. Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to be sort of a retrospective of his drawings in watercolors. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
So this came out in last week's edition?
Yeah, it came out in last week's edition. It should be also available around town in different shops and stuff throughout the summer. So
I imagine you can also stop by the Provincetown Independent office in the back of the Whalers Wharf to pick one up.
exactly, yeah.
How long have you been with the paper?
I've been with the paper for about 3 years, different capacities.
How long have you been in Provincetown?
I live in Wellfleet, but yeah, we came back about 4 years ago to the Outer Cape. I grew up, here, left for a
You're
while.
local,
Yeah.
a real one.
Where'd you go when you left?
We
We don't talk about it. Never mind. Run it from the left.
Boston, New York, and then I lived abroad for a while in Israel and in Poland.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of wandering, but I found my way back.
Well, that's because not all who wander are lost. Sir.
Exactly.
Well, we're happy to have you back here and at the paper. That's amazing. Stop by. I imagine Farlands, places like that. You can grab them.
Yeah.
And if you haven't ever stopped by the Provincetown Independent offices, it's at the end of the Whalers Wharf. It's really beautiful. There's always lively stuff happening.
Can I also just say that I really respect that the tagline is a perfect day, art, music, and birds. And that is a huge, as someone who lives near where bird watchers come when a new bird drops, I'm pretty excited. My girlfriend Katie, literally in the marshlands behind us, will be like going about her business washing dishes and be like, I don't know that bird. New bird just dropped. And it's such a component of the Outer Cape that I'm really excited that I got a byline.
Yeah, it's an obsession here.
And that's how you know I'm turning into an old lesbian. The bird's got a byline.
You're really doing it, Kristen. If you don't have a subscription to the Provincetown Independent, definitely get one. It is truly one of the best local newspapers in the country. It was one of those things that when they were rolling it out, I was like, I didn't realize how important a local newspaper, really great local journalism is until we had a really great local paper, and the effects and how it brings the community together and makes some really amazing conversation around topics. So definitely get a subscription. If you are able, donate to the local journalism project. It is a really amazing project that they do that brings young people to town to work for the paper. It's how we've gotten Paul Sullivan here, a bunch of other amazing artists, and it's one of the reasons why the Independent is as amazing as it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in this
Yep,
morning.
my pleasure.
And definitely stop by and pick up a summer guide. You'll see them all around town and read all that great stuff. And if you see Mark Garrett out and about, congratulate him on his amazing article. That's
Did we do it?
Yeah,
We
we
did
did
it?
it. Yeah.
All right, great.
Thank you all so much for watching. A big thank you to Kristen and all of our guests today.
Subscribe to Queer Times Podcast.
Yes, please listen to our podcast. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, the Provincetown Brewing Company, the Provincetown Business Guild, PTV, Provincetown Tourism, the Boat Slip, and the Provincetown Inn.
And thanks for the comments.
Yes.
To the comments for having us.
Big thank you. I think we're here 1 or 2 more weeks, and then we'll be back at the brewery. But
Upstairs next
yeah,
week.
we'll see you here next week.
Bye.
Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey! Oh! Hey! Wake up, wake up! Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up.